Hey guys, it's ANicWin, also known as Amy, and happy Monday. I hope you're having a lovely day. This is a build in Moonwood Mill. I know your feeds are probably oversaturated with werewolves content, and I am just adding to the problem, but I will say, one, we're going to discuss my thoughts on the pack in general from a couple different aspects, and two, I will not be doing another build in Moonwood Mill soon. Now I say that because I haven't started my next build and I might end up here, but I really sincerely doubt it. And there's a multitude of reasons for that, but this will be my little sat down, explored the pack, saw what it could do and in its natural environment, and now I'm gonna move on with my sim life. I don't really like to stay in the same world. I have been on a kick with Oasis Springs, and I think it's just because the lighting was just really doing something for me. But typically I bounce around, and you may have noticed it, you may have not. I like to switch it up. I feel like it keeps the creative juices flowing, and I don't really like doing the same style because it feels repetitive. So when you stay in the same worlds, it can be convenient to do the same style. Not that you have to, but it can be a temptation, I guess, if that's fair to say. So there's that. Now, when I sat down to start this build, this is a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, and you might be thinking, where's the bedroom in this? Because there's no way the living space is fitting on the other side of that. And you're right, it's in the basement. And I think you saw me do the basement really briefly. But yeah, the living space is really narrow. This might qualify as a small house or a small home. I didn't try it. That wasn't the plan. I was intending to do it as a starter home, but I went over budget, and I'm not really sure by how much off the top of my head. It'll be listed down below for you. It's somewhere between, I think, 28K and 36K, I think. I could be wrong. I could be a little bit off the mark there, but it wasn't super high over the budget, but it definitely broke the budget, so it be what it be. But my thought for this home is that a male werewolf sim. Now I don't know if he's an OG pack leader or if he was just a member. I have no clue. I haven't really delved into the story yet. Dove. I haven't really thought about this story that much. Not as far as all of the details, but he was living here. He was not quite an elder, but he was an older adult approaching the elder years. He passed away for mysterious reasons, and his niece has actually inherited this home. So my thought here is that she's moved here, all of his stuff is still here, and she, over a period of months, is going to be kind of cleaning it up, cleaning it out, and making it her own space. But she did inherit this, and she has no clue basically that her uncle was a werewolf. She doesn't really know anything about this town. This isn't where she's from, but her mother and her uncle both grew up here, and her mother moved her away to, I'm not really sure where she's from, probably the city, probably San Myshuno. And so this is a huge step back for her. And, as she cleans and kind of gets to know her uncle, a man she hardly knew through his things after death, she kind of learns more about the town, and maybe she ends up becoming a werewolf on her own herself. I'm horrible with grammar today. I don't know what the deal is, but that's the thought, at least. That's what I'm going to play as I play around with this pack a little bit more, just to see if I like the gameplay. Occult gameplay is not really my style, not even the realm of magic, just because I don't really like it. But every now and then I do get the desire. So I played with plant sims before. I have played with or included occult sims in my gameplay, but they're usually not the central focus, just because I prefer a little bit more realism. And that's just a preference. There's, no right or wrong there. But as you can see, as we're building, so this front yard area, this fenced in bit is a little bit more cleaned up. It looks a little bit more presentable. And I think that this is the only area of the exterior that she's really done up so far. So as you can see, the back is still a little bit overgrown. It's a little bit unkempt, if that's fair to say. And the front, technically, will be unkempt as well. She's not really done anything to that porch area yet. I do put a grill and I think a planter, if memory is serving me correctly. but she's getting to that. So as I play, I will have her kind of clean up the house. I like having little goals like that. Again, it adds to the realism for me. And for now, you can just sort of see remnants of her uncle and maybe what his life would have looked like here as he lived here. And that reflects on the inside as well. So as we're watching the exterior come together, I guess I can start on my opinions of the pack, and feel free to leave yours down below, whether they're negative, positive. I mean, this could be the best pack you've ever purchased or seen, and it could be the stuff of nightmares for you. I mean, all opinions are fair. From a builder's perspective, I'm meh. I'm not really thrilled. I'm just not. I think a lot of this stuff looks like it came from Eco Lifestyle. I think it came from Cats and Dogs. I think it came from Base Game. And honestly, the Little Campers kit is, some of the items are the same. I'm just saying, some of the items are the same. And I know that they do that so that you can have bite-sized chunks of the packs if you can't afford the full thing. So that one I forgive. The rest of it, I'm like, but why? I know, I'm trying not to be negative, but that's just how I feel. I feel like we didn't get anything really new with this pack. And the things that we did get felt incomplete. Like, I'll give you an example. So with the flooring, we got one floor. And it is a wonderful flooring. It alternates the tiles and the damage and stuff like that, depending on the size of the room. They have a lot of swatches. I like it. I like that it's broken and chipped, and it looks like it could be a linoleum or a tile. I enjoy that. What I don't like is that that's the only floor. For a pack like this, I kind of expected, like, there's a lot of sewer related things. A metal floor. I expected a metal floor. Maybe a wooden one with some scratches and stuff like that in it. Maybe even some carpet with some tears. That's just kind of some things that I would have thought or expected with this pack. The roofing, the tiles, they're fantastic, but again, there's no roof trims that match or go along with them, and that's my biggest pet peeve. I've not talked about it a lot on here, but it actually is something that I think about every time I build, and it drives me insane. The wall swatches, we didn't get any wallpapers that you can use inside, really. The brick, yeah, but the brick is a knockoff of Base Game. It's the Brickery Elite with a little strip at the bottom, so it looks like it may have belonged in a factory, like in a caution area or a loading dock. And that doesn't thrill me. I don't love that. Mostly because the Sims 4 or the Sims team has been moving paid content into Base Game. I just feel like that set themselves up for moving that over later. I don't know, maybe I'm being paranoid with that one, but I don't like that. So build-wise, it's a meh. Like, it's not the worst we've ever gotten. It's not the best we've gotten. Like, if I had to rate them on a scale of packs that were, you know, worst to best, like Parenthood, top tier game pack. My Wedding Stories and Dream Home Decorator are horrible, low as you can go. To me, they're equal. They're equal at the bottom there. And this is kind of with Journey to Batu and Vampires and Realm of Magic. Like, there's some cool things that we get, but there's just some lackluster things that happen that I'm just not thrilled with. Now, from a cast perspective, I'm blabbing through the kitchen. Hopefully you like the kitchen. But from a cast perspective, I think they had a good start. They had a good idea in mind. I would have liked to have seen some more. Particularly two things. I wanted a few more hairs. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, and maybe I can't always have what I want. That's fair. But I did want a few more hairs. I wanted a little bit less. Well, I like the mullet. I just wanted less of that ponytail thing, whatever that is. I think we got 3 versions of that, because one has the like thing in the back, and for me that's just like a cop-out. I wanted different hairstyles. I feel like we could have gotten more clothing items for the kids particularly, and if we couldn't have gotten them with this pack, maybe they could have come with a little campers kit. I'm just saying. And I don't like that everything is shredded, right? Like, okay, so here's what I would have liked to have seen. Like, let's say they gave us like a flannel shirt, right? It looks great, it's rustic, it's doing its thing, we're grungified, you know. I would have liked to have seen a ripped version of that, or a ripped swatch of the same color. So if you had your sim and they're in their flannel, right, they're doing their thing, and then they transform, maybe they're still in the same outfit, but it's ripped because they've grown, they've changed. So just details like that is something I would have liked to have seen personally. We didn't get it, that's fine. I'm not in those meetings, obviously. I don't know what goes into this. So, and maybe that's something we'll see later on down the road, I don't know. None of us really know. We're just here along for the ride. But cast was okay. Cast did not really upset me that much. It's kind of what I expected. I do love the accessories. I will say that. Love them. And I like the werewolf selection stuff. I think it's really cool. It does make me happy. Now, when it comes to gameplay, I've not dabbled a whole lot with the gameplay yet. I've gone through like a couple of sim days because I forgot to make my sim a werewolf and then had to go through the whole turning process. And I'm glad I did it that way because that was really funny. It felt, I don't know if it's realistic because it's a cult, but it felt like it could be real. And it cracked me up. And I don't want to give away spoilers because if you intend to play with that on your own, you haven't had a chance. I don't want to like give it away for you. But I did really, really enjoy that. So I think overall this pack, I'm going to like the gameplay and the lore a lot better than I am the build buy and the cast. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. And I don't mean to come across as all negative. So if I have, please take that with a grain of salt. I really do enjoy it, but I don't love it. It's meh, middle of the road. That's just kind of where I am. Now, I chattered all the way through the kitchen and the living room. Hopefully you could see some of that energy that I was talking about where the uncle was living there, like his TV and his game station were still there. The kitchen looks a little bit feminine-ish with the wallpaper and the things like that, but I think all of the counters and the appliances and stuff she inherited, and I like that it was a little bit grungy but not dirty because that's not the vibe we were going for. I don't think he was a dirty person. I don't think he was unkempt or unclean. I think he was just, he was okay with things looking a little bit dated, a little bit broken. He didn't mind as long. He was a function over beauty, if that's fair. And then we moved down here into the bedroom. Now this is my favorite area. And I will say I did love the living room as well. I really, really, really enjoyed the living room. You didn't hear it in my tone because I was rattling on about my opinions. But I love that living room space. It's probably one of my favorite ones I've ever made. But I like this bedroom. I, in particular, love that trunk stack set thing is a dresser. I give her another dresser as well just for the look. And I love that mirror above the bed. I like that it has crystals and plants on it. I do wish that the crystals change color, but they didn't. But that's fine. It's fine. I can live with that. I can live with that for sure. Now down here was his bedroom as well, so I didn't leave a ton of his stuff because I felt like she would have moved here with her whole bedroom set. I think this desk was hers, and she's into astrology and letter writing. Maybe she's got a pen pal. She's into that kind of thing, so she fits in with the world even if she doesn't know that she does. And it's going to be her jam. She's going to be happy here, I think, overall. And of course, I added a ton of plants. There's no natural light, so maybe they're fake plants. But I really tried to make this space feel the most like her, but still have remnants of this was definitely his space at one point. And I try to keep the rustic vibe. I don't really have a word for it. The rundown, homemade, eco lifestyle type vibe with the bookshelf. So I think that was his, and she just kept it because she liked the flair. And then there will be a piece of gym equipment right here. I think that was his, but she kept it as well because, fitness. You should, mind, body, health, and wealth, all that stuff. But this is the end of the build. I'm actually going to leave you guys here. Thank you so much for putting up with me kind of rambling on. As I said, feel free to let me know what you think of the pack down below. All thoughts are fair game here, just as long as you're kind. I will be posting the screenshots on Instagram if you want to hop over there and check those out. You can also leave a like down below, just letting me know what you think, or dislike. That is also fair. I will see you on Monday with my next video. And in the meantime, I hope you have a lovely day and a lovely rest of your week. Bye, guys.